Hello everyone.
Hi. Okay, that's not my real voice.
Okay.
Hi.
Take
Hi,
two.
everyone.
Take two. Hello everyone. My name is Onyida, and here with me.
Falakemi.
Okay. So I'm sure you're wondering what we're doing. Like, it was just sitting down here looking at you guys. We decided to start this YouTube channel or vlog or podcast, depending on where you hear this, just to talk about what it's been like, being first-time naive moms. So we're going to go over like a lot of topics over the weeks or in the next few episodes, whatever. Just follow Sha, and we're going to be talking about different experiences that we've gone through. And yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, that's basically it. I guess. Don't worry, we'll get better at this as the episodes keep coming.
Yep, it's our first time.
Yeah.
But would like you guys to please share, comment.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Drop your comments if it's your first time as a mom. If you're experienced, we are first-time moms, so we're just learning.
Exactly, we're just
going
winging
along.
it.
Exactly, we're really winging it. So if you have tips for us, drop everything in the comment section.
Exactly. In fact, this disclaimer: we are not advising anybody. That,
Nope.
Like, as the episodes come, we're not advising anybody. This is how you should do this. This is how you should behave with your child or anything.
Well,
because we don't know.
yeah.
We said we don't know. So
Yeah, we're literally learning as we go along.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the video.
Yep.
You
So,
asked me.
how was your pregnancy journey?
Okay, so I would say my pregnancy journey was actually pretty chill up to a point.
Yep.
Let me first start from the beginning. When I discovered,
The beginning was very chill for her.
wait, hold on now.
Oh, go on.
Wait, hold on. So, I remember that I don't even know what even made me even test to see whether I was pregnant. I don't know. I think I was supposed to get my period and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I was just casually like, is this pregnancy? Is this pregnancy? So I went to buy the kit. I remember that even when I bought the kit, it wasn't that day that I bought it that I tested. I think it was 2 days after. And that was in the middle of the night when I was just like, oh, it's true. I have a kit. Let me even just go
Why
and
didn't you
test.
test for 2 days?
I didn't think it was it. Because I'd had like a scare before,
Oh, okay.
like a long time ago. And it turned out it was just stress. Like my period was delayed and it turned out it was just stress.
Okay.
So I went to go and test in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like I was even still like sleepy, deep in sleep. This was around like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And I went to test. And then I checked and I saw that the line, so the kits that I brought and that I bought, I think it's the same thing for everyone. If 2 lines show, that means you are pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, the first one showed, didn't mean anything. Then as I was looking through sleepy eyes, I saw that the second one began to appear.
Yeah.
And just as slowly as it was appearing, that was how my eyes too were opening, like wait, what is happening here? Until I saw that it was clear that it was 2, I was like, what? I sat down there and I was looking at the thing for like a couple of minutes, like, what is happening here? In disbelief. Like, a part of me actually knew that it wasn't fake this time, that I was actually pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's not as if I had symptoms
yeah.
or anything like nausea or anything.
Yeah.
But I kind of knew it was real. I just kept quiet. I sat down there for a while, I kept quiet, just looking at the thing. A part of me was happy, a part of me was terrified. I didn't know what to do. I went back to the room, I was sitting upright, and my husband was like, what's going on? He said, what's going on? I said, nothing. He now said, are you sure? Are you sure everything is okay? I just looked at him and I smiled at him. I now said, it has happened though. And he said, you are joking. I said, I'm not joking, no. He now sat up. I now showed him like the strip or whatever. And he looked at it. He paused. He now said, okay, we'll talk in the morning.
How can you
And
go
he went back to sleep. And I was like, wow, he took it well. It was later on, he now told me that he did not sleep. He turned the other way and he was just looking. So yeah, that first week, I don't think it really hit us that we were actually having a kid. And we were just going about our normal business and everything. That let me say the first trimester, or at least the beginning of the first trimester, I didn't feel anything. I did not feel anything at all. Then we planned a trip. She's looking at me because when she starts telling now,
judging.
So that first trimester, we planned a trip. And just before that trip, we went to, we had like an appointment at the hospital. I think that was the first scan. And then we now saw is that what happened? Yeah, that's what happened. I think we saw the baby for the first time before we left for the trip. And we were like, dang, there's actually a human being inside there. And I don't know, things just changed. I think we both kind of cried. Even yeah, it was very emotional. But yeah, it was a very surreal moment. I think the only thing that I experienced during the first trimester is what they call sciatic pain. It was like this very sharp pain that came out of nowhere, shooting from like my hip down to my leg, and it was only on one side. I think my right side. It was very, very painful. It was almost like a crippling kind of pain. But apart from that, first trimester was pretty chill. I didn't have the morning sickness. I didn't have the whatever. I can't even tell you what comes with the typical first trimester. She probably, but we'll save that for later. But yeah, first trimester was pretty chill. I think emotionally too, I was still okay. There was one thing. I think this is where the whole naive thing comes in. I remember that they told me that my vitamin D levels were low. And when they told me that, I was panicking. I even think I cried. It's not like it's funny now.
Oh, it's so dramatic.
Like I had never ever been around anyone that was like pregnant or knew anything about pregnancy. So when they told me that my vitamin D levels were low, I was like, oh my God, something is wrong with me. Something's going to happen to my baby and all of that. I was crying and Momomi, they told me I should buy the vitamin D supplements. I now did not buy the supplements. I was not crying. So anyway, I think that was like the worst part of the first trimester. I was very, very chill actually.
Yeah. So my own first trimester was so different from hers.
Yeah.
How did I find out that I was pregnant?
Be vomiting.
No, it wasn't even vomiting. Before I felt sick or anything. I think I didn't see my period.
Okay.
Too. Yeah. And for my own, so I didn't see my period and I was already suspecting that I was probably pregnant. So I went to get the test kits. So I got it in one pack. It was like maybe like 3 or 4 in the pack. So I got it. I think I didn't even know how to use it. I just did rubbish. It didn't do anything. Like I knew I did rubbish. So I just went to YouTube to watch how to use it.
Yes.
Then I used it the second time. It had like one line. It was supposed to have like 2 lines to show you're pregnant. It had like one line, one very obvious line, and then one very faint line. So I was like, what was this like? So is that like pregnant or not pregnant? So I think I went on Google. So Google said, even if the line is faint, you're most likely pregnant. But I wanted to be sure. I didn't even tell my husband at this point. I wanted to be sure before I tell him. So I checked it like 3 different times. I used all the strips in the carton before I was sure.
You used all the strips?
It's like 3 or 4.
You used 4 strips to test one pregnancy?
Because I was doing it, like I wasn't doing it right. The first one, I think it was contaminated. Maybe water touched it. I was just doing rubbish. So by the 4th time, then even when I was not even doing it right, the color was not really appearing. It was faint, so I wasn't sure. So by the 4th time, or by the time I used everything, I became like a bit sure. But at that point, I was like, why did I waste more? Like, why did I buy the cheap one? Let me just go and buy the proper one that will tell me pregnant or not pregnant.
So you're telling me that you bought another one yet again. So you used 4 pregnancy kits to test.
Let's not call it kits. It's like tiny strip, like paper.
Tomato.
Yeah. So I used all of that, like for maybe like 2 days. Over the course of 2 days, I did like 4. Then I still was not sure. But at the when
you bought the digital one.
No, before I bought the digital one.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I tried it the last time, I was sure because I started appearing, but I wasn't like 100% sure. But I just went with Google. Like since Google said, if it's faint, you're most likely pregnant. So I went with Google. Then I didn't tell my husband, and that was just it. Let me know. Yeah, we're happy, obviously. At that time, I was still okay. I heard somebody say that is at the day you find out that you're pregnant, that's when your first trimester sickness will hit you.
Are you serious?
Like before you find out, okay, this is not like a hard and fast rule. I'm just saying.
Certainly,
it might not be true.
Nothing hits me.
And I mean, for the people that will get sick,
no offense.
For the people that will get sick, they might not even know. Like you won't feel that sickness until when you find out. But that's not always true because for some people, it's because they're sick that they then go to the hospital and then they find out. So that's probably not true. But the moment I found out, that was when all the first trimester sickness and sicknesses, everything just came like at the same time. I didn't know how to describe. My first trimester was so tough. It was like malaria, typhoid, fever. What else? Mixed together. COVID. I had COVID, but
it felt
COVID symptoms, flu, everything mixed together hit you at once. It was terrible. Like I lost appetite. Couldn't eat anything. I was dehydrated. I couldn't drink water. I was throwing up. It was just everything. And for me, it was even tougher because I had just resumed a new job. Like I started a new job in I think June. Yeah. And so I remember my first week at work. And I was doing induction, orientation, training, and it was just so tough. Like I was going to the bathroom like so many times. I went to the toilet. I'll just go sit down there because I can't be feeling sleepy in the office. Like it was so bad. It was really bad. So I had to quickly tell my line manager like instantly to let her know. And they were so nice. They were so gracious because my work was supposed to be full time and fully on site, but because I was pregnant and she knew I was pregnant, she allowed me to work what they call half and half. Like half on site, half. Hybrid, yeah. She allowed me to do hybrid. I was coming to work like 3 times a week, doing the remaining 2 at home. So they were so gracious to me. Like it was, I really thank God for that. Yeah. So this is not to scare anybody. Your first trimester might just be like Oyinda's first trimester. I know people.
So she dated me.
I need to mention that. So when I found out that Oyinda during her first trimester, was traveling to Italy, France. Where did people go to? They were touring Europe. Oh gosh. I was like,
I'm sure you were actually questioning.
how does it feel to be God's favorite?
I'm sure you were actually questioning at that time. Is she actually pregnant?
No, I knew it doesn't happen like that for everybody, so I knew you were pregnant. But I was just like, how does it feel to be God's favorite girl? Like, because they didn't.
At least you didn't cry over vitamin D now. You didn't cry.
I remember one day, second trimester. I don't really have much to say about second trimester, to be honest.
Second trimester for me, I think that was when I started to, if at all, start feeling. I don't want to even say sick. I wasn't really sick. Second trimester was actually pretty chill. Well. The bump started to show. I think that was when I started hating certain food. Actually, I couldn't stand protein. But at that point, I was glowing. The bump was bumping. I don't really have anything to say about.
But the bump, did your bump start showing early, or was it like towards the end of second trimester?
That's a very good question.
For me, it was towards the end of second trimester. Because people in my office, apart from the fact that, okay, little gossips here and there, and I told a few people that was close to our work, a lot of people did not know until like when I was nearing third trimester. Because my bump did not really like come out early. So for me too, second trimester was a breeze. It was, in fact, that was when I started enjoying pregnancy. Because I think second trimester was the best period. Because
actually.
You are no longer having the morning sickness if you used to. And at this time, you're still strong enough to do a lot of things that you can't do in your third trimester. I have to say, like, shout out to my brother, because my entire pregnancy, the only reason why, I think one of the reasons, I'm not say the only reason, but one of the reasons why I was sane throughout that pregnancy was because of it. Because I had somebody I could call, a doctor I could call that was at my beck and call. Because here in the UK, like,
some of us cannot relate.
That's just like, I'm just trying to talk about like the health, like access to
like advice
to healthcare.
I get.
It's not like, if you compare it back to Nigeria, because Nigeria, you can just walk into your normal hospital. You see your doctor in like 30 minutes, ask anything. I think that's how it is, even for pregnancy, I don't know, for sure. But here it was so different. Like, you have your midwives, but even your midwives.
As in, like, I
remember my midwife giving me her number on the first day of our appointment.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, if you have any questions, call me. I was like,
so
okay. I remember calling her the next day. Nobody never go to hello.
Like, but I agree with you. Even myself, I remember, like, it was my sister-in-law that told me that I should be taking pregnant care tablets and supplements just as for vitamins. If she did not mention that to me, I wouldn't have taken anything. Because when we now went for the first appointment, she was saying, "Oh, are you taking supplements?" I'm like, if you did not, how would I have known?
To say. My first midwife appointment, she was like, "Hope you're taking folic acid. Hope you're taking pregnant care."
I'm like,
and this was already like how many weeks?
Like 8 weeks exactly. At least.
So imagine if I didn't have any of those information. That was my first appointment. It would have just been at that appointment I would have known I was supposed to take these things. So.
Anyway, we moved.
Yeah, but that time when my first trimester, I was talking about where it was so bad. Having my brother and his wife, who are both doctors,
was
really like they were just telling me what to do, what to buy.
That's cool.
Also, I need to mention, just for anybody that's in this situation, if you're struggling to drink water, that's what I did. You don't have to do it. But I couldn't drink water. I couldn't keep water down. I couldn't even taste water. Like, it was so bad. So somebody told me, a friend who was also pregnant, so what she did was put lemon in water.
Oh, and it helped.
It was the best water I've ever had in my life. I need to continue drinking that.
I wish I could give advice.
This auntie had the best first trimester.
I wish I could give advice.
So that was second trimester, good. It was the best. I enjoyed it. All my appetites came back. I could move. I didn't feel like I was pregnant. Like, I was still light, all of that. Just
to end for my own second trimester, I think mine too was pretty good, apart from the love-hate relationship with food. But towards the end of my second trimester, I had started feeling fatigue. Like shortness of breath and just like tiredness, an unexplained tiredness.
I remember you saying that.
It's true. And that's even when I discovered I had iron deficiency now. Cried about that one too.
You have to say baby. Because they also told me I had iron deficiency.
Yeah, that was second trimester.
Was that second? I don't remember.
Mine was second trimester.
But it didn't make me cry. It didn't even.
I don't know.
As long as there's something to do to fix the issue, I'm fine. Like, if it's just go and take iron medications, I'm okay. Like, I'm not even worried.
Like I said, we learn every day, Abby. Is it not so?
And then once I get any reports, I've called my brother. Like, they say I have iron deficiency.
And now it's because
what does it mean?
Exactly.
No, but that's not the reason. I think that's the reason. That helps, yes, but I don't think I will still cry. Maybe there's some that will make me cry, but not like iron deficiency, vitamin D deficiency.
I don't cry.
Vitamin A.
The crying that
unless if they say, I think if they say your vitamin D deficiency has affected something, that can make me cry. But it hasn't done anything. I don't have vitamin D.
I did not cry. It was falling. It was falling in the air.
Okay. Yeah.
So third trimester. Oh yeah. like I said, towards the end of second trimester, I started getting heavy, and the heaviness just kept building up. My bump, that was when the bump started getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Which is why I find it very funny, because even, I'm telling you, till the last day that I was at the office before I went for maternity leave, somebody still came and said, "Oh my God, you are pregnant," and I was like, "How?" I think it was 8 months or 9 months. No, 8 months at this point. I'm like. But anyway, I was very, very heavy. Thankfully, I didn't get any swellings anywhere. I don't even think my face. We didn't get face swelling. No. We didn't get feet swelling. No. Anyway, so yeah, it was just the tiredness. It was the heaviness. It was the shortness of breath. There were even times, like, it was so bad. There were times that I almost passed out, and it turned out that the reason why I was heavy was because I had a lot of amniotic fluid inside. And it's something called, they said the condition is something, what did they even call it? Polyhydramnios or something like that. And we kept asking questions like, what is polyhydramnios? How does it happen? How can we fix it? So apparently, one of the reasons why it can happen is if you have gestational diabetes. In fact, so many terms in this whole pregnancy thing. I was so naive, so clueless. Gestational diabetes is when you have like a lot of, like, your blood sugar is high. And I know that in second trimester, they tested us. It's like a standard test that you have to take to make sure that you don't have a diabetes. And I know I took it and I was cleared. I didn't have. But they said that even if you take it at that, there's a period in the second week. Even if it clears, then you are still at risk of getting it if you have like a bad diet or you're taking a lot of sweet things when you're pregnant. So they said I should go and do the test again. I did the test. It was still negative. Which was, I don't know, it was sort of a relief, but at the same time, I would have liked an explanation for why there was so much amniotic fluid. And I did some other blood tests to see if there was any, should I say, disease or any condition that I had that would explain why I had the amniotic fluid. But everything came back negative. Till today, I cannot tell you the cause of the polyhydramnios. Yeah. In fact, like, I did a lot of Googling, unfortunately. And they say it happens to like a couple of people where it just happens that you have a lot of amniotic fluid and nothing, like, you cannot explain why. Because I was thinking, hey, am I eating the right things? Maybe I should cut down on the carbs that I'm eating and everything. Nothing was working. I still had a lot of amniotic fluid. And the risk to the baby was that, so some of the things that they said is that the baby could turn because there's a lot of water, and the baby could end up in breech, which would lead to a CS. Because up until that point, the baby was in the right position for like a normal vaginal delivery. They also said, what did they even say? That, okay, yeah, that there's also a risk of my water breaking before that point, and if my water breaks, that I'll be at risk of getting an infection, which would affect the baby as well. So it was just third trimester was a very, very, I think it was my own difficult trimester. Because I was so heavy, I found it difficult to move, I found it difficult to breathe, I found it difficult to think. Even when it was so, it was. Yeah.
So for my own third trimester, unlike her, my third trimester was so smooth. I think, or what I was saying to myself was, I think God was trying to compensate me for my first trimester. So he just gave me like smooth second.
So what happened to me?
You had a smooth first trimester.
Okay.
Did you know? You were God's favorite.
Yeah, fine.
My third trimester was so smooth. Obviously, now I have like a big bump. So it wasn't like so big anyway, but at least I had a bump. So the usual tiredness, fatigue, I had those. But not like all the time. Like, for instance, I didn't need to get things like those pregnancy pillows.
Okay.
Yeah, like they'll tell you don't sleep on your back, sleep on your side. All of those things.
You're saying that it wasn't a thing for you?
I mean, it was. No, it wasn't. I had to sleep on my side. I can't sleep on my back.
Yeah.
Because of the baby. Because they'll tell you, it can harm the baby. So sleep on your side.
But you didn't need a pillow.
No, I didn't need a pillow.
My dear, I needed the pillow.
Like a lot of people would need a pillow at that time because somehow, I don't know, maybe their backs are already paining them. Yeah, so I didn't need that. Like, I was able to, because I was thinking maybe at some point I would need to get.
Yeah.
But I didn't need to. I don't think my bump was so big. But besides that, I was generally okay. I get out of breath when I like walk along the stairs or maybe after climbing staircases. But yeah, it wasn't so bad. No, everything was good. Apart from just the general wanting to lay in bed and not wanting to get up, I think that's like same for everybody in third trimester.
I'm tempted to say that I would have picked your how you felt in your first trimester to how I felt in my third trimester.
You don't know how I felt in my first trimester.
You don't know how I felt in my third trimester, my dear. The breathlessness was terrible.
My first trimester was bad.
I'm telling you, I feel like you know, all your organs are pushed up because you are so big.
Okay,
and
so I felt that.
I could not breathe.
So for me, it didn't affect my breathing, but it was just, so I used to have like heartburn. I remember buying Gaviscon. I think the only scare I had, it wasn't like a serious scare.
Yeah.
But one thing that happened in my third trimester that was almost like a scare was, I think there was a particular time I went for midwife appointment. And then so during your midwife appointment, she would measure your bum. Measure your bum and plot the graph, the chart. So she measured the bum and plotted the graph. When she plotted the graph,
she said you are measuring a couple of weeks ahead, have you?
Not even weeks. So there's this mark that she would plot, and then the mark would show like the
week
something.
The size, like
the size of the baby, basically.
Yes.
So we have like lines on it.
Yes.
It's not supposed to exceed that line. Or it's not supposed to go below the line or something. So in this particular case, when she plotted it, it went above the line.
Yeah.
The sonographer would also plot their own graph. And then she plotted her graph, and the thing came right inside the line. And then she was like, your baby's okay, your baby's not big. Who plotted this other graph? I said midwife. She was like, she doesn't know what happened, but it's not the same. From her graph, she showed me the graph, baby's fine. So we're like, okay, thank God. So what do we need to do next? There's nothing to do. There's nothing for her to do. She will discharge me immediately. So she discharged us. And we went back home. So I think that was the only scare that happened here.
Please do not Google symptoms. Either speak to somebody that knows what is going on, or like a close family member, or somebody that's just been,
or maybe go to the NHS website.
Even the NHS website, they'll say, oh, it could be this, it could be this.
Yeah,
if you are still concerned, make sure that you call the doctor.
Oh, what about cravings? Cravings. Like, you know how they would say you don't want to eat ridiculous things. Some people want to eat sand. Some people want to...
I don't think I had cravings.
Me too. I remember telling my husband that he was so lucky.
I didn't have cravings. Oh no, I did have, in third trimester, I had cravings for bubble tea. You know bubble tea?
Yeah.
You
just felt like drinking
that was the thing I know that I craved the most. Bubble tea, but not anything after. I still had a love-hate relationship during that period, and I was even losing weight, funny enough. So that was it.
For me, as I third trimester, my appetite was back, like fully back. I was enjoying everything I used to eat. So I didn't really have like cravings for, I don't remember having cravings for any unusual thing. Maybe just like normal things I would normally eat. So maybe today I feel like eating a particular thing. But that was just like usual. But I didn't have like those extreme cravings where you would want to eat something that you don't have available or that somebody has to go and look for in the middle of the night. And, again, disclaimer. I feel like I was being dramatic. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm just being dramatic.
Because now that the babies are out, my cravings. Oh my God. But that's another story.
What do you feel like?
My dear, I feel like eating everything and anything.
Like stone? Like stone.
So
like this stone.
Which people, who in the world that people... Wait,
like
I don't understand. For people to crave stone means that they've eaten
it just looks good. And it just looks like something that they can eat.
I know now. That one is not craving. That's a spiritual problem. Because how will you crave... Anyway, that's after pregnancy.
But you did have...
just for that specific thing. Oh, after, you're saying after, yes. After, yes. Third trimester, just one particular thing. That was it. But that covers like the whole pregnancy journey. What would you say are the things that you expected during the journey that didn't happen or that happened or whatever?
I think for me, so the way, like, okay, so for one, I think I remember something. You know the way pregnancy is portrayed online? Can be somewhat scary.
Wait, it is scary?
Yeah, in the sense of like, okay, maybe not scary, but scary in the sense of like, you would see a lot of pregnancy humbled me videos. Where it's like, this was how I used to look, or this was me before pregnancy and me after pregnancy. And I'm not even validating anybody's experience. For a lot of people, it happens like that. So in terms of expectations, I was not expecting the worst, but I really thought like there would be like some drastic change with me, like swollen feet,
the nose,
huge nose. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was hoping that it was not going to happen. I was really hoping that, hey, let me not have all of these things. And I remember even as I was progressing in the pregnancy, and I was not seeing a lot of those things. When people say things like, you're still looking the same, I always say, I'm still in second trimester. Or I would say, I'm just 5 months, so I don't know what's still happening in the next 3 months. But till the end, till I got to like 9 months, like nothing really changed. Like apart from the fact that, okay, now I have a bump. And my normal clothes would not fit. But like my usual clothes were still my clothes. I didn't need to buy like lots of.
I refused to buy.
Exactly. Like I remember. I think that was like an expectation. Versus reality. I think
for me, like my own expectations. I don't know. I feel like I had a whole Disney Channel expectation on this thing. Okay, I thought that the morning sickness. I thought that the morning sickness thing was something that would affect if you are pregnant, you would definitely go through morning sickness. And I also thought that the morning sickness was morning sickness, like it was just for the morning. But
Let's call it what it is, please.
Yeah. So that was one thing that I expected. I did not have. What else again? I didn't think that there would be so many complications that could come with pregnancy. I mean, I know that's a very, very naive statement to make, because you hear, it's not as if I've not heard stories of people that have gone through different challenges in their pregnancy and everything. It's just that, like this one that I had a lot of amniotic fluid and they were telling me I had polyhydramnios or whatever. It was so foreign to me. I was like, so this can happen. Especially when I had a smooth first trimester, smooth second trimester. I was like, I don't know, I just expected it to be smooth-ish. Do you understand? Maybe just morning sickness and then you give birth. I will say though that I'm slightly disappointed with the way the appointments with the GP and the hospital. I'm slightly disappointed because I feel like in Nigeria it's a bit more hands-on.
And here, unless you're classified as high risk, so they classify into high risk, low risk, medium risk, high risk.
Yeah.
For the entire pregnancy, I was low risk.
I was also low risk.
Yeah.
So they barely saw.
Unless you are high risk.
Yeah.
A lot of things would not apply to you. Like you don't need to say consultants, you don't need to say gynae.
Yeah.
I never saw.
I mean, if you have a smooth pregnancy,
OBGYN.
If you have a smooth pregnancy, they will only tell you to come in for 2 scans. 2 scans.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. So the first scan is the dating scan.
Yes.
That's where they would check to know your due date.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the second scan is the anomaly scan, which is where they will check that the baby is okay, check everything to make sure the baby is okay.
Yeah.
That's the only 2 scans you're entitled to, unless there's now a reason
to come in for an extra scan.
I remember asking my midwife towards the end, like my 3rd trimester, like,
what's going on?
Have you not seen any other scan? And she was like, no, there's no need for a scan.
Yeah.
The only person I saw from the beginning to the end, apart from the sonographer, and who else? And the person who did my what was that test? Diabetes test.
Okay.
The only person I saw the entire 9 months was my
midwife.
The entire time. And the people that are doing the vaccine, flu vaccine, all those other vaccines. Only my midwife. So, but that's a good thing. That's what I'm trying to make. Yeah. Because if you need to see other people, like
then that means
there's
more to the.
There's more, exactly.
So yeah, I guess that's it. If anyone that has been pregnant before or is going through pregnancy at the moment, if you have like questions or even things that you want to let us know, because we are still learning. Like,
she's learning for the next one. She needs more tips for the next twins.
For what? The twins. My dear, please. Next time, I went first this time. You go first next time. But anyway, if you have any like questions, if you have anything that you want to let us know,
or if you want to share your own experience,
exactly.
Maybe if you're not in the UK, if you're in the UK, if you're in another country and it's different,
please just like drop it in the comment or something. And please remember to like this video, by the way. Like this video,
share, subscribe,
and if you want to see us again,
if there's anything you want us to talk about,
put it in comment as well. And even if you don't like us, you will see us again. So
somehow we'll show up on your feed.
Yeah. All right. Until next time. Bye guys. Hey.
How many hours was that?
Jesus is Lord. I'm not even surprised.
Oh, Lua.
We talked for 2 days, Abby.